Nestor Vicente Madali Gonzalez, also known as NVM Gonzalez, was a Filipino novelist, short story writer, essayist, and poet. He is also a National Artist of the Philippines for Literature, which was conferred on him in 1997. He had written many stories and published many books, and today we're going to discuss one of his well known works, which is The Bread of Salt. The Bread of Salt talks about a teenage boy who buys bread of salt or pandesal, which is its original name. Because of that, he always passes by the old Spaniard's house to see Ida, the girl she adored. On his way to school, he would stalk Ida. He's also thinking of a plan to confess his feelings to Ida. He wanted to give Ida a brooch, so he then decided to join Pittis, his friend's orchestra in order to save money. He practiced learning how to play the violin because that was also one of his dreams to be a violinist. Another night of performance came and things didn't go so well. He made a very embarrassing act after performing, and Ida was there to see it. He went out of the place as fast as he could, full of shame and disappointment in himself because he thought there was no way Ida would like him back anymore after what had happened. Petey walked with him when they decided to buy a pandesal, and he insisted on paying for it. They, alone at the counter, waited for the pandesal, which wasn't ready yet.
The story revolved around the narrator's point of view. The boy was around character. His emotions changed when he saw Ida, and it changed again when Ida saw what he did, and in the end, he came to his original self. The rest of the characters in the story are all flat characters, including Ida, because it wasn't really mentioned in the story what Ida thought about the boy's embarrassing action. All the other characters were just there to support, to put down the boy. The conflict of the story was his aunt wherein she didn't approve him joining the orchestra. Another thing was the story of has a concept of man versus society. The story also showed a very dramatic plot or a progressive plot because even though the boy felt down after what happened that night, Pete still cheered him up and the story ended there. There was no symbolism in the story, but the story was titled Bread of Salt because the story started there. He wouldn't had seen the girl if he didn't went to the bakery in the first place. And like the pandesal that wasn't ready yet mentioned in the end, the boy wasn't also ready to face the society's truth. So, the main lesson of the story is that people shouldn't be afraid to be judged because that's just how it is. So, being judged is normal, and yes, that truly hurts. Society slaps people with judgment, but that's totally fine as long as you don't change who you are for the society.